You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Carrie Diaries After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Carrie Diaries After Show.
What's up, fellow Carrie Diaries fans? It's too close for comfort this episode, but spoiler alert, is it really? It doesn't seem like Carrie was too close to Weaver this episode. She loses her V card, spoiler alert. Finally, round of applause for Carrie.
Yay, Carrie.
Get laid. Get that sex in there in the city. All right, let's introduce ourselves. I'm your host, Danica Kennedy. Joining me as usual.
I'm Anik Dufour.
Hey guys, I'm Annika Michelle.
I enjoyed this episode, obviously.
It was good.
I think we all did.
Yes, it was a good one. I enjoyed it. First off, before we get to all the juiciness, let's get all that stuff in Connecticut out of the way. Let's just talk about that first. So let's start with Mouse and West. I find Mouse to be very annoying, her character. Are you guys fans of her?
No, she's annoying too, yeah.
She drives me crazy.
I feel like she's, I don't think she's like, I mean, I'm hoping she's not like that in real life, but I feel like she's every high school has had one of her, if not more. Like, yes. I can name people in my high school that are just like her. So I feel like if she's trying to portray that character, she's doing a good job, but it's annoying at the same time.
Yeah. Nothing against her as an actress,
right.
But
just
her
her
character is very annoying. In this episode, it's all about homecoming, and she's doing this whole homecoming float. And first thing that annoyed me about her, she doesn't like glitter.
Like, what girl?
Right. What? So
especially, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say he wasn't that fond of the float that she was making, or not ecstatic.
Right, because there was no glitter, because he wanted glitter.
He wanted it to be a little bit flashier, which I understand. I think it's good to go big and bold for a homecoming
and
float.
I love how the straight football player wanted more glitter, and the girl's like, oh, what? Like,
and Donna wanted more glitter too.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like 2 against 1, even though it was her that was decorating it. But West won homecoming king.
Yes.
And Donna won homecoming queen. So of course, Mouse is a little bit jealous. Also, he's just, like, preoccupied with all the celebrations, and he's getting interviewed and stuff because he won. And I think that she could have been a lot more supportive of him instead of jealous. I felt like she was really rude to him about it for no real reason. I know he wasn't really supporting her that much on her float, though, but I think he was just trying to give constructive criticism.
Right. I think that, I don't know, like, I mean, she's, like you said, she's kind of annoying. But at the same time, it's like you sign up to do a homecoming float. Homecoming float's supposed to be sparkly and like glittery and stuff
flashy.
like that.
It's like you won. Like
exactly.
This is what you're supposed to be
it's
on.
like she's kind of like, no, it's supposed to be fall and pumpkins and stuff like that. It's like, poor baby. Stop while you're ahead.
It's like she's trying to decorate for Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade instead of a flashy
like a Halloween parade,
glitzy float.
But it's funny because when she was telling Carrie, you can tell she was like jealous and upset. She's like, he's with Donna and da-da-da-da. And Carrie's like, okay, he's not going to fall for her. Like, he's not going to go for that kind of girl, so you have nothing to worry about. But she was like, I'm still upset. And like, I mean, she was obviously jealous that he's spending time with this girl that's like, doesn't look like her and puts herself together in a different way and has different morals than, Mouse. So
we have to be a little bit sympathetic for Mouse, though, because she is upset that she's not very popular compared to her boyfriend. And she even talks about it. She's like, I'm not the popular girl. Like, I'm the smart girl. But you can't be good at everything. Yeah. So, you win some, you lose some. But
exactly.
I think she could have handled it a better way. I feel like she was a bitch.
Yeah, she was stressed.
She
and
was.
I think she was taking it out on West and his float and him winning. And he didn't even seem happy. She didn't even seem happy like, oh my God, my boyfriend just won homecoming king. That's huge. I'd be like
she
excited.
should have at least said congratulations.
Yeah.
Given him a hug, been like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. No.
Good for you.
I was actually shocked that he won homecoming king. I thought it might have been Sebastian.
So did I.
It's surprising. Sebastian doesn't seem very popular, though, to me.
He's like more of a rebel.
He's like the hot
Yeah.
rebel guy, but he's kind of like the loner cool kid. He's not like
That's true.
in a team or anything, in a clique where it's all these guys together. You usually just see him like wandering around looking cool and sad and badass
It's true.
with his hair.
I know. So perfect.
So perfect all the time.
Did you guys notice that Donna has a new gen?
A new gen.
Yes,
oh, yes.
she does.
Like, who's
She
this?
does. I was like, wait, what? Yes. I was like, what?
How did you not know that the girl with the other one has been following you for I don't know how long? That is like a new girl.
The new girl.
Like, all of a sudden you turn around like, who are you?
Like, who is this random girl that's following me? Well, Donna has no popularity problems.
No.
Everyone loves her, but I think also everyone kind of hates her. I love her as a character, though, because she always spices up the situation.
Yeah.
The relationship I love the most on this show right now is Donna and Dorrit, because they're randomly kind of friends and they give each other advice, because Dorrit's boyfriend has gotten a wee bit too clingy. I've actually had this problem personally. It's very bad.
He's like stage 5.
Yeah, and it's just too
Yeah.
far. Like 1 week it's really romantic because you're in love and it's new and it's exciting, but then you have your life you have to get back to.
Right.
Yeah.
And Donna says that to her, like, homeboy's a little bit too clingy, kind of. And she was right. And Dorrit talks about it later to her, about how she was right in that situation and how she had to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he moved himself into their home and became best friends with her dad, Tom.
Which, I mean, I see how he's like, oh, well, let me get him to, like, approve of me and, like, get to know him and stuff. Like, that's one thing to take your girlfriend's dad out and, like, just kind of, like, try to be friends with him. But it's a whole other thing to convince him to let you move in. Like, that's just awkward. Like, you're sleeping on the couch and then your dad, like, he even gave him all those rules. Like, the doors will be open. You will not, go upstairs. All this, like, weird stuff, which I understand as a dad, like, your teenager's daughter's boyfriend is now living there, But it's just weird.
That was a little strange.
This topic hit way too close to home
Really?
for me, because my high school boyfriend was, like, at first I was really into him because we were kind of long distance. And it was like, distance makes the heart grow fonder. And then he was, like, super clingy and sleeping over all the time, and I, like, couldn't get rid of him, and he wanted to, like, move to where I was moving. So I felt Dorrit in this situation, and I think she did the right thing. You can't, like, just let that happen.
No.
Someone take over your life. I need my alone time, at least. I think everyone does for
Right.
sanity.
Yeah. It's like they call you and we're like, what time did you eat? When did you go to the bathroom?
Right.
Stuff
No,
like that.
it's like, I'll see you when I see you, and we'll
Yeah.
catch up then. We don't need to, like,
know
send
everything,
each other's
yeah.
status reports 24/7.
It's true. It's true.
And then Dorrit told her dad, you're not allowed to become friends with any of my boyfriends ever again. And he was like, okay, it's fine. Not a big deal.
Yeah. I think he was also, like, it's his first time experiencing this with Dorrit, so he also kind of didn't know what to do, So it was, like, his first time. He wanted to be on Dorrit's good side because she's kind of the rebel. She's kind of, like, the one that gives him issues. So I think he was just trying, like, he was just doing what he thought she wanted, and in reality it was not what she wanted.
I think he was just trying to be like supportive.
Yeah,
And
I
it
think
just
he was
kind of
trying to be
backfired.
cool.
And
Yeah.
Like the cool dad, like, hey, I'm not as much of a square as you think I
Right.
am. Your boyfriend can stay over, but there's some rules. He can stay on the couch, but he's super cool. We like the same music. They bonded over music together, and Dorrit hated that. He even left was it a Rolling Stones t-shirt that he left at his
Yeah.
It was, like,
house in the end?
And she threw it out.
Yeah, she was like, nope, I'm taking it.
done.
Done.
Yeah.
In the trash.
Well, Tom needed kind of like a little friend there because he,
Just went through a breakup.
Yeah, with Deb and the Omen kid.
Speaking of
Damien.
that, I really hope they touch upon his work life with that guy
Yeah.
and bringing the kid. I hope they don't just, like, leave that hanging, because I think
I
it'd
know.
be really funny to follow that plot line, but they didn't really
Bring it
touch
up
upon
today,
it
yeah.
at all in this episode.
But they do that sometimes. They skip episodes on, like, storylines. So, like,
And then maybe
they,
next
like,
week
yeah,
they will.
hopefully next week they'll touch up on it and we can find out what's going on.
I hope so. I like that plot line going on.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Before we get into all the juiciness, though, you guys need to check us out on iTunes. All you have to do is go to iTunes and look up AfterBuzz TV. Type in the Carrie Diaries. Be sure to rate, comment, give us 5 stars because we're awesome. You know you want to. And tell your friends about it. That's how we grow here at AfterBuzz, and we have tons of other shows that we cover here. All of us are hosts on other shows. I'm doing The Kardashians just wrapped up, but I'm also doing Parenthood. What else do you guys do?
My other one just wrapped up. I was doing Dance Moms. No, Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, but it just ended last week, so we'll wait to see what happens next.
I just finished up Rookie Blue over the summer, so I'm not like.
That's true. A lot of TV shows are wrapping up right now because of the holidays.
Yeah.
But we still have tons of shows that we cover. So if you're a super fan of any TV shows, be sure to see if we have an after show for it. Well, let's dive into the juicy love triangle.
The fun stuff.
Okay, I have a really big crush on Weaver. Do you guys find him
He's
super
very
hot?
attractive.
I think he's cute.
Carrie has a way of getting really hot guys. Her options are pretty nice right now. She has 2 gorgeous guys that are like in love with her. And she's like, which one do I pick? And then she has this fabulous job.
I know.
Well, a little rocky at work. I'm sure they'll dive more into that plot line, you know,
Get more into
week.
it, yeah.
This was more about the romance, which I enjoyed.
For sure.
For sure. But, yeah, she is falling in love with Weaver. It seems like I'm a really big fan of his. What do you guys think of him? Do you think he's a good match for Carrie?
I, for some reason, don't trust him. I don't know why.
Because he snooped through her diary?
Not only, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. I have this, like, weird feeling about him that, like, she's going to end up getting, like, heartbroken.
That's
He's
definitely
cute,
possible. I feel
but
like
I
that
just don't
happens a
trust
lot.
him.
He's just gorgeous. That's
He's
why I
beautiful.
like him. But he does have kind of a dark side. I think that's why I like him, though, as bad as that is. Like, ooh, mysterious dark side.
Right.
But to wrap up what I was talking about with the diary, earlier they were talking about why they love dating writers and how they keep their writings private. He was writing a play, and Carrie found out that he's writing about his ex-girlfriend. So she's been totally freaked out, thinking that he's still in love with his ex and, you know, fantasizing about this tall, sexy girl that he's typing away about. And she finally addresses him about it. And he's like, no, I have no feelings for her. She was a total bitch. And, you know, it's wrong to stay in contact with an ex. If you're starting something new, you need to, like, cut the strings there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was kind of hinting like, oh, is that really bad? Because obviously she just started talking to Sebastian because he needs advice with his mom, who's marrying a 24-year-old
Tennis coach.
What a mess there. So he's all depressed and needs help from her dad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of juggling 2 guys because she still has feelings for Sebastian. You can tell when they're in the same room with each other.
She gets tangled up in phone cords. She can't even like he touches her hair and she's like, it's like, what? Okay.
Oh, yeah. And so when he comes over for all the advice, Weaver calls and she goes to the phone and she's lying to both of them.
Yeah.
She lies about who's on the phone and then she lies to Weaver about who's
there.
Which is so typical Carrie. First of all, always lying and then getting in some mess and then having to work her way out.
It's true.
It's just easier if you just tell the truth.
Yeah.
And then, like, you don't have to go through all of that.
That wouldn't be as interesting for a TV show.
Exactly.
That's true.
It's fun to follow a liar, right? A little bit spicier.
But
true.
It's just funny to me because, like, I this is what I noticed when she was, like, trying to tell Weaver, like, or Sebastian, like, oh, who it is. Like, she didn't even cover the mouth part of the phone. So she was like, oh yeah, hang on a second. And she just kind of tilted it. But I'm like, he can full on hear you saying like everything to Sebastian and like, oh yeah,
I was thinking.
I'll see you tomorrow at school. And then he goes back and he's like, who was that? Oh, it was my dad's lawyer. Why are you going to see your dad's lawyer friend in school?
Maybe that's why he read her diary later, because he heard part of the conversation.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, she's obviously lying to me and I want to have an open relationship and know more about her. But Sebastian asks her to go to his mom's wedding because his mom's going to cut him off if he doesn't attend.
Right.
Right.
Like,
well, she
totally
actually
cut off,
She
right?
suggested
volunteered to go
Oh, yeah.
to his mom's wedding. and Austin.
She's such a mess.
And Sebastian's like, no, I don't want to put you out and stuff like that.
And then she was like, oh no, this Saturday is what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I just have plans during the day. Meanwhile, we know, like, oh, Carrie.
Right.
What are you doing? So she plans on going on her adventurous date day through Manhattan with Weaver and then going to the wedding in the evening. And she ends up getting laid, sexy time on a couch.
So
Most
she loses track of
people-
time, obviously.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It wasn't the most romantic way to lose your virginity,
No.
but she
Right.
was really happy about it. She had that glow about
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
She was
But
definitely glowing.
she did do, at least she kind of made up for it. She sent Mouse over to the wedding to tell him and kind of take her place. At least she didn't just like full on stand him up.
And it was like,
Right.
yeah, he was just standing there. I was like, oh no, oh no. And then like in comes Mouse. I was like, okay. And you could tell he appreciated it, That he
Also-
wasn't like completely alone.
Mouse was telling Carrie, like, don't talk to Sebastian at
Yeah.
all. So I think she probably enjoyed that she called her up, like, oh, it's good
Yeah.
that you're with that other guy and, like,
Right,
cutting
and
the
then
cord,
I'm
so
Right.
I'm happy
Yeah.
to do this for you.
Yeah. That's
Even
true.
though I was like, Mouse, you're so annoying. Let her go after whoever she wants.
It's true. You can't help who you fall for.
Exactly.
I like the table, how they have like the table scene, like they do in Sex and the City.
Oh, yeah.
Now they brought it, and now like how kind of like it started.
incorporated it.
Incorporated it. So that's pretty cool.
It's
I was
sad
like,
because
yay.
we know that, like, Mouse is going to get booted off and
I
replaced with, like,
know.
Charlotte and then
For sure.
Miranda. Ooh. But it's going to be spicy to find out how that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to talk about Samantha, by the way. How she poses nude
Nude.
for art classes.
But are we surprised, people? Like,
No.
No,
This
not
is
at
something she
all.
would totally do.
Okay, what are your guys' opinions on posing nude for art classes? Do you think that's bad or, like, really scandalous?
No.
I don't think it's
I
bad
don't
at
think it's
all.
bad.
Because they're wondering what she does, why she's naked all the time, and they're like, do you think she's a call girl or a stripper and
stripper.
stuff?
Yeah.
And I went to an art high school, and when we would take art classes, we would have nude models all the time, and we would have to sketch them, and I don't
In
think
high
it's
school?
that bad. I know, I went to a really weird high school, so I guess maybe, like, I grew up in, like, a weird environment where I would sketch naked people, but, like, in art class, it wasn't a big deal,
Yeah.
and I know people that pose for it all the time, so I'm like, oh, she's not that crazy yet,
Yeah.
but she is a fun, crazy character.
And
so
you go to
far.
like museums all the time and it's naked photos all the time. So
Yeah.
they didn't just invent that from their head. I mean, maybe they did, but most of the time they're sketching a model.
I mean, knowing Samantha, she might go to a place where it is really sketchy
Right.
and, like
Like some creeper guy posting,
Like
hey, I need a naked
creeper.
model.
yeah, not
Come
like
over
a really
tonight.
nice
I know, right?
university for art
Yeah.
or anything. It could be like a sketchy, like random art class the
Yeah.
city or some random person put on. Little bit sketchy. But she ends up having sex with this guy that, first of all, one of the reasons I wouldn't want to post nude for an art class isn't the fact of being naked in the room, but how the pictures would turn out. I feel like no matter how they turn out, I would be a little bit offended.
Yeah, I'd be like,
'Cause
"My
you're
butt's
so
too
secure."
big. It's not
Yeah.
big enough. It's like,
Like, oh, I look like that. Is that my stomach?
Yeah. Like, cause you're naked, you're vulnerable, you're open, and like, you don't know how they're going to sketch you.
And one guy sketched Samantha with a broken heart.
Yeah.
And she thought that it symbolized that she was like broken and alone and sad and kind of pathetic.
Right.
But it was symbolizing his heart, how he was
Right.
lonely. But she had sex with him anyways.
Of
I think it's
course.
fine.
Of course.
I'm sorry, but I think it was hilarious, and the guy started crying.
Oh my gosh. It was like
Really?
so dramatic, too emotional, too much.
I've
Yeah.
actually had that happen.
Uh-oh.
Like a guy's actually started like telling me a story. Not like, I mean, it was something similar to his effect of like, oh my gosh, I just like got, and I'm like, oh my God, like, but this like mine happened on like a first date where I was just like, this is a little too much. You're crying at the restaurant right now, and this is like
It's 'cause
really
he's not
embarrassing.
over someone else and
Yeah.
he's trying to rebound, and it
It was just a mess.
disaster.
It was a mess. I was like, I got out of there as fast as I could, but I could relate to her. Just like, what the hell is going on?
Dating 101, don't cry on the first date.
Please don't.
Yeah, you don't bring the baggage from your last relationship
No.
into the next one.
never
Carrie was
good.
kind of dabbling with that a little bit, but I mean, Weaver couldn't have been that mad because he snooped through her diary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily he didn't turn to the part. They built up the suspension a little bit. It looked like he was going to read about Sebastian.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
luckily, it was that she was a virgin. I forgot to mention that
Right.
earlier,
Yeah.
so I wanted to.
And he didn't seem to mind. I mean, he was like,
He
all
was
right.
kind of stoked about it. He was
Well,
like,
of course.
that's really, an exciting experience. I want to,
Yeah, it was funny because
Take
literally
your
as he's
virginity.
saying it, like, he's like, it has to be special. It has to be the right time. And, like 2 seconds after his speech, she's like, okay, this is it. I'm done. Like, let's
she
go.
just started
Yeah.
making
Yeah,
out. It's
she's
like,
just-
whoa.
That's all it took. And, like, his little speech, he didn't even, not, I mean, I guess at that moment, he's like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, and, like, pushes him down and stuff. But I was like, you just found out you're not gonna go get like roses, trying to like make this a little bit more romantic than like on your couch, like.
Such a guy, still horny, even though he was like, oh, it's a really special moment.
Right.
I want to make this really nice and special for you when we decide to have
Yeah,
it. And
and
then she
then-
just like plunges in.
That's
That
all
was
it
a
took.
bad
Typical Carrie.
adjective, but jumps into it. And yeah, I guess she didn't mind though. She even mentioned, in the voiceover of her
Yeah.
hanging out with him, that she didn't mind that it was like not all romantic with the rose petals and stuff. She was like, it was on a, random couch
Right.
right
Yeah.
here, and it was fine. I loved it.
That's all that matters.
Well, we know that she's gonna have a lot of fun having sex in the future, so
Definitely.
I predict that's what's just gonna. We
Oh
all
my
know
gosh.
that for
She
sure.
had like a love line going on.
Carrie's love line.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh, well, before we move on, I wanted to talk about the fashion of the show.
Yes.
And it was funny because the credits were going on, and I recognized a name, and it's the same costume designer, same head person as Gossip Girl. And Gossip Girl has won many awards for their costumes on that show because every girl wanted to copy them. And he's been recognized a lot for different, for his costume design on that show. So I think it's interesting that this is also set in New York, and he's the costume designer on this show. But you guys were talking about it earlier. You were feeling like it's more Forever 21 H&M.
I feel like the costume design was great season 1.
Season 1 this year
And
sucks.
this year, I feel like they must be sponsored by H&M or Forever 21 or some really popular American clothing line that's
Yeah.
out right now, because it seems very now until you hear on the loudspeaker class of 1986 or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that, I mean, I agree with you, but I think that might be because they want girls to go buy clothes. Like, you know what I mean? They want girls to look up to them and be like, oh my gosh, I want to dress like her. I want to look like
Yeah,
her.
their target audience.
Right.
I mean, it's a CW show.
So it's kind of hard if they do all 80s stuff where these girls can't afford the vintage prices, and they can. And I mean, the thing I like is that Carrie's not rich in this show. She's not, and they're not getting expensive, all these expensive brand names that a girl her age or our age or whatever age couldn't afford in her social. In the same financial status that Carrie is, she's not overbuying at Saks Fifth Avenue. She's not going to Louis Vuitton. She can't afford that, and I'm glad that they're not getting the clothes from those places that she can't afford.
I actually
That's true.
disagree.
Really?
I don't, not necessarily, because in the first season you can tell that the stuff isn't, I don't know if they have a different, if this is the second season, the
I
costume
don't
designer,
know.
if it was just his first season this year. They need to go back to the one from the first season. I don't think in the first season that they went out and got, Louis Vuitton and stuff like that, but I think they stood and they stayed more into the 80s
Time period.
themed period. I get that they're trying to bring in the kids and stuff like that from this century and being oh, I like this, I like that and stuff like that, and I can go get it and things, but at the same time it's not aiming towards 1986. Because
And
you wouldn't
continuity
see,
wise, it doesn't go together with last season.
right, and you wouldn't see what Carrie is wearing in 1986.
They really changed the style even with how she looks too. They
Yeah.
revamped this whole season where her hair is different. It's her natural hair instead of the wig now.
Right.
Which it looks really cute.
Looks
and
so good. Can we just get her hair person on my hair, please? That'd be great. Thank
I'm
you.
thinking about cutting my hair short.
I know,
I'm
it
not
looks
even
so
kidding.
good on her.
I want to impulsively do it. Maybe next week.
Next week she comes back with short hair.
Hey guys. But yeah, they changed the whole style, not only fashion wise, but I feel like a lot, their hair and makeup, a lot of things look different this season. And I know that they're also trying to transition less from like the suburbs and more into the whole Manhattan.
The
Like
city.
she's growing into Carrie.
Right.
So I know they're trying to change the style, but I just think it's too current. I agree. That I miss the 80s
Because, like,
influence.
even, like, sometimes you'll see in the background, like, a couple episodes ago, you had Larissa and her, like, the other person that worked at Interview Magazine. And the girl comes up, and then she's, like, wearing this, like, these, like, shoulder pads are, like, out to here and, like, a metallic, like, jumpsuit. And her hair is, like, flipped over and, like, spiked. And that's so 80s.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see, like, Carrie and, like, Mouse and stuff, and they're just wearing, like, Forever 21 now and, like, H&M now and stuff. And I just don't, like, it's bothering me.
It's
to the
bothering
point
me
where
too.
it's like, meh.
Also, I mean, I know that everyone that watches this show isn't a huge Sex and the City fan, but since I'm just such a big Sex and the City fan, I want it to go together like a puzzle and be the real story of how she became Carrie. And I want it to stay with the 80s and like go through the time period like she was actually growing up. Also, you know, now Carrie's having sex, so she's turning into Carrie that way.
Right.
The Carrie later on. But I've realized what bugs me about this. She does such a great job at sounding like Carrie and her personality, but she's not as funny. And I want her to be funnier. I just like want it to be more of a comedy,
Like, witty.
kind of. Yeah, because she
Yeah.
has that like
She's
she's
like
always
on
doing
it. She's
puns,
sarcastic and witty. Yeah.
really sarcastic and like a little bit more dry and edgy. And I want to see if they're gonna work that into the character and kind of make her have more of that like quick banter dialogue that's really funny, or if they're just gonna kind of keep her how she is. But she is in high school still, so
Right,
maybe
she's
she
still
hasn't
young.
like come
Gotten
out of her
that.
shell. So
Right.
maybe it will. I just like hope that comes into character at some point.
That would be good.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go into some predictions.
Yeah.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Kick it off.
Me? Let's see. Well, I don't think Weaver's going to last very long. I think he might last a few more episodes. I think she's just going to end up getting her heart broken. And I want to see more Bennett and, what's his name? Oh my gosh, I completely went blank on him.
Walt,
Yes, Walt.
Yeah, they weren't in this episode.
I know.
I feel like they're gonna bring them in with Larissa next episode and
And,
go back with Tom and his whole work situation.
And what's the other girl's name?
Maggie.
Maggie. She wasn't in it today.
Yeah. I want to see what's going to happen with Maggie and Carrie because we haven't had a scene between them.
They
this
must
season.
see each other at
You would think they would
school
see each other
or
at
run
school.
into each other
Yeah.
at some point. I'm surprised they haven't touched upon it more.
Yeah.
Do you have any predictions?
I do. I think that Carrie and Sebastian will get back. I think
agree.
they're gonna it's not gonna last that long with Weaver. I kind of already know, but thanks to IMDb, I saw how many episodes he's on, so I was like, well, this isn't lasting too long. But Sebastian is on every episode, so I think that they're gonna go back to it. And also, really random, like not this episode, but the one before. What was her name again? Maggie shows up at Sebastian's house, so I think that might go. Like, I don't know if
Turn
she's
into
trying to,
something.
like, I mean, they already kissed and stuff, but I think, like, it was just kind of weird that she just, like, randomly shows up. I don't know if she, like, still likes him or what she's trying to, I don't know what's going on there, but I think that Carrie and Sebastian are going to maybe not end up fully together, but they're definitely going to mess around again. Like, maybe make out again in the classroom, push each other against a wall. I don't know, but I think it's going to happen.
I could see something happening where maybe Sebastian finds out that Carrie moved on with Weaver and he'll impulsively get drunk and hook up with Maggie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then something will like go wrong with the whole Weaver situation and Carrie's gonna be heartbroken and show up like at Sebastian's door wanting him back and like rebound and then is gonna be like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love triangle again. What's happening?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, whatever happens, I think Sebastian should be shirtless for it, so.
They have some pretty good-looking guys.
They really
on
do.
This show. I
Yeah.
know that they're supposed to be in high school, but they're probably all like 25 to 30 anyway.
totally
That's how they
are.
do it here in Hollywood, right?
Totally how it happens.
Well, hopefully
good.
we'll see some shirtless boys next episode.
That would be great.
But thank you for watching our show. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Anik Dufour, my website, anikdufour.com.
You can find me on Twitter at Annika_Michelle and my website, AnikaMichelle.com.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Danica Kennedy. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.